look. Look, I says to you, look.
Listen.
Taylor.
Everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of the Look, Listen, Cast. We normally talk about other things in Pokemon, parentheses, ellipses, horizons, with Liko, Dot, and Roy, those guys. Today, oh my goodness gracious, I've been saying it for weeks. I've been saying we're going to watch Pokemon Concierge with all three of us, and today's the day. So I don't even,
Wow,
I can't.
So much build-up.
I know, I don't even know what to do. It's like Christmas Eve, but I didn't buy presents. Look who it is. It's Taylor and Geese Peep.
Wait.
Look who showed up.
Yeah, it's
What, Taylor?
You
Please?
didn't buy presents for Christmas Eve?
No, I bought them. I wrote down everything. Don't worry, everybody. Guys, look.
I was worried you didn't watch Concierge.
No,
Concierge is coming, everybody.
No, everybody listen. I watched it twice, actually. I watched it in Japanese and English.
What'd you prefer?
Well, Taylor,
Yes.
that's a big question. Are you prepared for me to spoil that right here and right now on this Pokemon podcast? By the way, you can just trust me that it's going to be great. So go ahead and give a like and leave a comment right now before you even bother listening. So just...
Yeah.
Leave a comment on if you watched Concierge and if you watched the first one.
Which you should, because spoilers, it's fantastic. Even bigger spoilers, Taylor. You're never going to believe it. Guess what?
I'm prepared to doubt you, though.
Here is the big spoiler about Pokemon Horizons episodes 5 through 8. The new ones they just released on Netflix not too long ago.
You mean Concierge?
Pokemon Horizons.
What did I say?
Horizons, episode 5 through 8.
Horizons.
Yeah, we rewatched Horizons back when Liko, Dot, and Roy were little kids. No, we're of course discussing Pokemon Concierge. This is the stop-motion clay and fuzz and toy model show that is far better than it has any right being. It's so good. It's just amazing that it took us 30 years to just make entertainment that's just so entertaining. Here is what I have to say. Longtime listeners may recall that I said...
thought you were going to say, long live Pokemon Concierge.
Long live Concierge. Honestly, yes. They have great merch. They should keep making them. Here's what I have to say. Shouts out Dwarf Studios. Here's what I have to say. When we watched the first 4 episodes, first whatever number of episodes, I said, wow, English is better than Japanese. That's crazy.
Nuts.
Got some big news today. Episodes 5 through 8, Japanese was better. Way better.
Wow, they took notes.
Haru, big spoilers, Haru in English is still better, but the rest of the cast in Japanese is way better. Here's your giant... I'm spoiling so much. I'm so sorry. We haven't even gotten to the Peep of the Week, What's You Been Geesin', but here's your giant spoiler because I can't hold it in anymore.
Yeah.
The voice actor for Uncle Dan in Japanese is voiced by a wonderful 71-year-old actor, and he sounds like an old man, is a real character, is completely believable. In English, the voice actor for Uncle Dan is just Taylor doing his old man voice, and he has no character, and he's just, I don't mean to be mean to the actor, I mean, he has a lot of work, but Concierge is so good, I wish somebody would have told him, oh, by the way, this is really good. It's not just anime slop. But the poor boy is just trying so hard to sound 40 years older that he's not invested in actually being a real character. So I'm sorry.
I'm sure
he was a million times better in Japanese.
The actor is at least 19.
Oh, God. Speaking of 19, did you guys hear? Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. I'm jumping so ahead. But, I mean, people are interested in Pokemon Concierge. They probably want to hear this. The actor who plays ex-boyfriend Kent sounds about 12 in English.
He's a very famous voice actor, though.
And in Japanese, sounds like what he should be, like in his 20s, mid-late 20s. Sounds good. And I hate to tell you guys, like there's moments in Japanese that were so emotional and so moving. And then I watched it in English and I was like, oh, this is just silly.
The opposite problem of Sigourney Weaver in Avatar 2, The Way of Water. Where it's clearly an 82-year-old woman trying to play a 14-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, like Marge Simpson. Geese Peep, we are going wild to town with spoilers. We're not even in episode discussion yet. Please, God, can you give us Geese Peeps? What should been Geese and Peep of the Week? Please go ahead. Please, Geese.
Please.
I guess I'll start with what I did.
The energy shift between me doing this and you just going, okay, I'm doing my meeting for work now. And
I guess I'll start.
No, I said I guess I'll start with what I did this last weekend.
I'll bet you're wondering how we got into this.
Yeah. Geese Peep, please tell us. In our flashback, our first flashback.
I guess you should start at the beginning.
So 2 weeks ago, Michael and I went to San Diego, the great city. Now,
that was way more than 2 weeks ago, but go
on. 3 weeks ago. I don't know. When did we go?
It was nowhere near 3 weeks ago. That's way too long.
All right, Leonard talk. Taylor, get out of there. Get out of here.
I wasn't the first one that interrupted.
Oh my God. The first day in San Diego, we go to the San Diego Zoo. Have you been, Taylor?
No.
It's sick.
It's a good zoo. Highly recommend.
Parentheses, side note, saved a man's life September 12th, 2001, when all air travel was stopped. But this one man in Florida got bit by a snake, and the only anti-venom was in San Diego Zoo. So they had to fly it over, and the little plane that had the anti-venom in it was surrounded and escorted by a bunch of those fighter jets. Fun story.
That is so much stuff for anti-venom.
Yeah. He was going to die, so. Keysby, please continue.
It was sick. My favorite animal...
I'm sorry to laugh, but it's just very funny hearing Michael say, "Oh, they saved this guy's life. They had the only anti-venom in the entire country escorted across to this dying man with a bunch of fighter jets." And you're like, "Yeah, my favorite animal." It's just
good stuff.
My favorite animal, probably the meerkats, but I'm always a fan of those guys.
Did you watch Meerkat Manor?
Of course I watched Meerkat Manor. Are you kidding me? I had the DVDs.
Okay, I'm sorry. You were like 3 years old when that came out. I didn't know if you had seen it.
Got him.
I love that show.
Nice.
Also, they had a bunch of places where you could walk through and there was birds, and that was really cool.
She loves birds. That's her favorite thing, honestly.
I found out that my mother's surgeon is a big fan of birds.
Ooh,
so I was dropping her off yesterday to get a joint, her fourth joint replacement. So this is her final knee replacement. She has gotten in order one knee, one hip, one knee. So she did the full horseshoe. Elbows and shoulders next, I guess.
Knees and toes.
And her surgeon is talking about this trip to the Galapagos that he went on. I, a diver, am thinking, wow, the sea life must have been fantastic. He, apparently a bird enthusiast, was like, let me tell you all about these blue-footed squawkabilities. Or what are they called?
Blue-footed boobies?
Blue-footed boobies. And he was showing me all these pictures, and he was like, yeah, you could, like, touch them with your foot, and they wouldn't even do anything. So they were just on the path staring at us.
I would love to go to the Galapagos Islands.
Same, Geese. Same. I have a friend who owns a dive company, and they always go.
Geese Peep. Did you have more to say about the zoo?
What was your favorite animal? He was so anxious that we were going to miss our panda time slot.
Did you get to pet a panda?
No, they were all sleeping.
You get a time slot to get in line to see the pandas.
I like the panda ice cream. There's an ice cream by the Panda Man, and the whole time, Taylor, the guy in there was being told by the other employee, "What do you mean you've never had a root beer float before?" And he's like, "No, I've never tried." No. He said, "I've never tried root beer before." And I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "As long as it's Barks or IBC, because the rest of the root beers aren't actually that good, but as long as it's Barks or IBC, you're good." And it's an ice cream place, and they have Barks on tap right there. And we're trying to convince the boy he's got to try a root beer float. So I told him, give the boy a root beer float with this Barks root beer right now. He's going to love it. He's going to love it.
Okay, but for context, Michael was so anxious we were going to miss our time slot. And we were fast walking through the path to get there. And he thought I didn't know the directions. He was so anxious. And then as we see the line for the pandas, he sees the ice cream and he's like, "Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa." And he's like, "All right, I got to get some ice cream." I'm like, "Are you serious? We will see the pandas and then you get the ice cream." I cannot believe you.
I wanted the ice cream to eat while we watched the panda.
But let me just say that I correctly pointed out that when we got in the line, it said no food or drink allowed. So I was right. And you couldn't
you could have a little food.
No.
That'd be funny if the sign said a little food allowed.
You have a little ice cream as a treat. Come on, guys.
Later that day, we went to the Padres versus the Orioles game, and we were sitting right across from two girls I went to high school with.
Crazy world.
That's very strange.
Yes. And
God,
I after the game, and they did not recognize me.
They might have. But it was a great ballpark. Everybody, I recommend Petco Park. You can have your food delivered right to your cushioned seats. It's wonderful. What a nice place.
Except you refused to do that, and we're gone for more than half the game just getting food.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure you missed a thrilling baseball game.
Everybody loves baseball, Taylor. Geese Peep, more about Zoo or perhaps Tide Pool?
Ooh.
And then, okay, next day, fast forward.
Flash forward. It was a flash sideways. We went to the arcade.
Yeah, we went to the arcade later that night after baseball game.
We definitely talked about the arcade, didn't we?
We did.
I didn't
talk
hear about
arcade.
arcade.
Okay.
I didn't know
listen
arcade.
to the episode, so you'll have to listen.
I
Next
can't listen
day,
to myself, Geese. I'm sorry.
No, she's
You're
saying.
not on it. That's the great news.
Darn it.
Foiled again.
Oh, that's such good logic.
The next day, we go to La Jolla and we go snorkeling at the cove with the sea lions, and it's a lot of fun.
But here's what I like. I'm not a beach girly like Geese Peep is, but she's dragging me to the beach all the time. But I do love the cast of characters you encounter, and you learn their little stories because they have their full conversations. And this man was having such a hard time trying to snorkel, Taylor, and his friend was like, "Stop trying to breathe through your nose." These guys are... These guys are old men. It was funny, but like, oh, it's been so long, I haven't been here, and they just their tales and trials and tribulations. It was so much fun listening to that.
You get such interesting stories whenever people are going in the water with a mask on for some reason. Dive boats are the same way.
Finally, we had to leave because the vibes changed. New people came in; they weren't as entertaining, and I was getting the worst sunburn of my life. Not as painful as other ones, but boy, was I ever peeling.
There was this time on a dive boat where we had a really long boat trip to go out to these oil rigs, and I was everybody always is like sharing war stories and like, oh, I went on this dive, oh, I went here, oh, have you seen this, oh, there was this animal, and people were talking about why they enjoy diving, and I was saying, oh, I just enjoy going a little bit deeper because like the number's big, so I like hitting 100 feet per dive trip. I think that's a cool depth to hit. And somebody said, is there anything significant? And I said, I like being able to say that I did it. And everybody on the boat was like, honestly, that's kind of why I dive too. I just like, it sounds sick.
Yeah, get the picture. Okay, we have a lot to get through. I'm just going to real quick say my stuff. I watched The Paper. We'll go back to you, Geese Peep. That's the Office spinoff.
How was that?
It's not bad. It is. There are a few moments that were laugh out loud funny. Especially with the actress that plays Esmeralda. So fun. You would adore her, Taylor, because she talks in this crazy Italian accent the whole time. It's obscenely hilarious. And my boy from the movie I watched, the Ballad of Wallace Island or whatever, he's a main character in it. He's hysterical.
Whoa. Wait. I'm so sorry to interrupt. Is the actress who plays Esmeralda from season 2 of... White Lotus?
Yes.
Because she has the best line in that entire season, and she improvised it, and it's one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
She's hysterical. But the only unfortunate thing about the show is it wants to have the same soul as The Office and be as big of a deal. But I do not predict that it will be anywhere near as popular. I think it's missing something, but it's not bad at all. I think it's funny. You can get enjoyment out of it, I would say.
Do you think that if this had come out before The Office, this would have had the same feel as that? Like if it wasn't just Office Junior? Oh, okay.
No, not at all. It's entertaining, and a lot of the performers are very good. And because I bought a month of Netflix for Pokemon Concierge, I also am starting to watch Squid Game Season 3. It's good. It's fine so far. I like it. Okay, that's going to be all my stuff. Please continue, Geese Peep.
Why don't we have Taylor go first? Because he hasn't even gotten to his yet, and I can always do my stuff next week.
No. Go ahead.
Okay, take what I said about what I first said for my first Peep of the week.
With a grain of salt.
No, fast forward 3 weeks. It's this past Saturday. I take the train Saturday morning to New Haven to visit my sister.
Geese Peep, what's Stu Leonards?
It's this grocery store chain in at least Connecticut, where they have animatronics in the store. And
Ew.
it's just a hoot.
Wow. Hoot and a holler. I saw a video. It was crazy, Taylor. They got good juice
Is it
there,
creepy? Creepy
apparently.
animatronics?
Yes. Oh, yes. Big time. But you love it.
No,
you love to see it.
But fun, in a fun way.
Fun. And you ate some pizza, huh?
Pizza and apple cider donuts.
Wow, that's so sick. Taylor, would you like to tell us this week what you peeped of the week on What You Been Geesin'?
All I'm going to talk about is, one, I drove too much on this trip. Way too much. I don't know if I talked about it properly last week, but there was so much driving. I drive in Turkey all the time. I was driving in, I can't remember the name of the area in Istanbul, but it's by Karaköy. And we were talking to our friends and they said, oh, people don't drive there. Why were you driving there? Because it's so incredibly busy and the streets are just covered in people. So we were driving our friend's car and the sensors were just going on all sides of us. And the whole car was just yelling at me to not be so close to people. But I had to be, because it's like you can only drive on the road and there are people and tables and everything. Guncan had a panic attack while I was driving. So that's how bad that was. But I will say, and I know we have a few listeners from Turkey.
We do.
Turkish drivers are fantastic. They are the best that you can have. To make a situation like that even kind of navigable is amazing. And
I believe
think
it's pronounced
about
navigable. Please continue.
Is it?
Dirigible?
Oh, yeah, dirigible. I wanted to say dirigible for most of my life. So you have these completely obscene driving conditions on these ridiculous narrow one-way roads, and I never feel like I'm in danger of getting in an accident, ever. Compared to, let's say, Houston, where you have to go one lane to your left and you're going to almost be hit. And I'm thinking about these people in Istanbul and all of the carts in the road and all of the weird situations that you come across. And just everybody's aware. Everybody's good. Everybody should go drive in Turkey. It's fantastic.
Everybody go?
Yeah.
Especially if you're good at driving up mountains, you say?
Yeah, that's actually, we did a lot of free diving. We dove for, it wound up
In
being...
the mountains?
No. We dove the property along the coast in Antalya. So there's a certain area, and we just kept swimming. We ended up swimming 2 kilometers and then 2 kilometers back, so it was quite a bit. During this time, I had weights on and fins, and I was doing a lot of free diving. Come back, and I don't think I told this story, actually. So come back, my ear really hurts, and it's not equalizing properly. I think I was kind of bouncing too much. So I would dive down to, about 15 meters, maybe 20 meters, and then come up just way too frequently. And I think I ruptured an eardrum. So
it's the speed at which you do it, or the frequency. You need to hang out in a certain area for longer.
Yeah, I'm far from a trained free diver at all. I can just hold my breath for a long time, and I'm a good swimmer. So I'm probably doing so many different things wrong. And I mean, I'm a diver as well, so I know how to equalize. But beyond that, there are several steps that I'm probably missing somewhere. So the last day, we're at this property, and we go down to the beach area. This guy sees Guncan and says, "Hey, you two dive a lot. You had a camera here the past couple days." And she was like, "Yes." And she said, "And he doesn't speak a whole lot of Turkish, right?" And she was like, "Yes." And he said, "I lost my ring earlier this morning. It's about noon when we're going down to the beach." And he said, "I need you to get it." So it turns out this guy lost his ring in around 20 feet of water. And the Mediterranean is extensively rocky. This dude lost a silver ring in the rockiest area imaginable. And I was looking down and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to find it. So he goes over, and we get there's a little crowd, because this is like a private community. So there are like 8 or 9 people watching me go out with this guy. And he's like, "Oh no, it's right around here. It's right around here." So we're swimming around, and I go down a little bit to like 10 feet, maybe 3 meters. And I'm kind of looking around for it. Don't see it. Come back up. He's like, "Did you find it?" And I was like, if only I could tell this guy that this is like a 1% chance situation. I go down again. Can't find it. like a child's movie, people on the beach area are starting to say, there's no way he could find that. No chance. The current. Oh, he can't even hold his breath that long. There's no way he could scan the whole ocean. So on the third time, I managed to find this ring. I bring it up and I hold it out to him. Everybody on the beach starts applauding and cheering. The rest of the day, the guy just keeps saying, whatever you want, it's yours. Everybody's sitting there patting me on the back. The guy requests taking pictures with me. And if you could see this picture, I'll send you a picture. It's me, Guncan, this guy. He's marveling at my height. And he's just looking up at me. I have never had a romantic partner look at me with the face he's making at me in that picture. This guy and his wife is sitting there taking all of these different pictures of us, and he's just like staring up at me like I'm the Messiah.
Aww.
So after that, we leave. We drive through the mountains. I think the highest point that I saw was at about 1 kilometer of elevation on the way to Bodrum from Antalya. So that's 4 hours. My ears are going to explode. I have the worst headache, just awful headache. We get to Guncan's aunt. She has property in Bodrum. And I say, hey, they're showing me their factory with all their lumber and everything. And I'm just saying, oh, okay, listen, my head is going to explode. This isn't a good situation. I need to go to the hospital. We go to the emergency room. Now, emergency room in Bodrum is a little bit silly. There are a lot of tourists there. A big old just pile of people, and I get to see the famous Turkish healthcare that Guncan's been talking about. We do manage to get seen in 2 hours, and I go back to get examined. Guncan goes with me to translate. About halfway through my examination, this guy in a wheelchair just wheels his way into the room and is sitting into the room while I'm getting examined. Guncan is looking there. She doesn't know what's going on. She looks at the doorway. Guncan's mother, this is at 1 a.m, by the way, is sitting there giving us 2 thumbs up. As if this is great. So there's a guy listening to my diagnosis, and he starts disagreeing with the doctor. Doctor says, give it a couple days. This guy, with his leg in a boot in a wheelchair in my exam room, is saying, no, you need to not dive. I used to be a professional free diver. You can't do any more diving. God. You'll never dive again. Guncan's mom in the back, thumbs up. Guncan saying, what on earth are you doing while she's translating? And doctor said, no, you're fine. Just leave. So I do a lot of disparaging the insurance system. Shocker. The total bill for this night of tomfoolery was $12, including medication. So,
that's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
in the United States,
nice.
the bill is technically $0 because you can just not pay it.
Yeah, that's true.
Japan's not going to stop you from coming over if you have medical bills. They don't care.
Yeah.
Also, we need to move on, but real quick, I also went to San Francisco and I had a great time.
Yeah, we were prepared for Poké-news.
Well, do you have something else before Poké-news of the week?
Nah, I'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, next week before Poké-news of the week. This is, of course, from Sarah B, as we all know and love every week. Big news for this podcast. The official trailer for the next season of the Pokemon Horizons anime is out. It is called Pokemon Rising Again, which is a funny name. They're doing it again, guys. Rayquaza rose once, and now we're do it again.
What on earth? What was this one?
This time we're going to go to Blueberry Academy. That'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, God. Rising Again is such a weird... That's fine.
We're doing it again. But remember, we do get the preview or the flashback series of Roy and Ult meeting in Kala, so that'll be fun too. Also, this is probably the least exciting news for everyone, but a new medal has been announced for Pokemon Home as part of the Pokemon Wonder Island event at Jeju? How do you pronounce that island in South Korea? I don't know. Korean.
Jeju Island.
All right,
it's Jeju Island. All the South Korean dramas. Everybody loves vacationing at Jeju Island.
Okay. I'd love some Pokemon Home medals. I say it every week. I tried to get some, and they didn't work, so wonderful news for me. Also, Taylor, Pokemon Go news. The completely normal event is rolling out globally. So if you want to get yourself some normal type Pokemon, such as the Dunsparce, who was in a what do you call him? One of the little guys, not Spotlight. What are they called? Community. What are they called, Taylor, when you rank your Pokemon against other people?
Showcase.
Yeah, the showcase for the Dunsparce. And I said, can you even have the Dunsparce yet? But apparently.
I got a shiny today. My first shiny in a long time.
Of what?
And I got 100% Audino.
Ooh, sick. What Pokemon did you get shiny?
Dunsparce.
And in the final piece of Poké-news of the week, Pokemon has announced a collaboration with the Natural History Museum in London. A special pop-up store will open from January 26th through March 22nd with exclusive merchandise. Tickets available October 1st. Very exciting.
Of course, they do it as soon as I leave London 4 years ago.
Got 'em!
I can't believe it. They even waited to make sure you weren't going to go back.
It is now time to discuss 4 episodes of Pokemon Concierge. Geese Peep, can you please tell us the name of all the episodes in English? And I will, as you do that, say the names of them in Japanese. Well, actually, we'll do each one as we go to. The first episode we'll be discussing today is, of course, episode 5 of Pokemon Concierge. You two have no idea how much my brain was screaming Horizons at me, and I had to say no brain. No brain. We're saying Concierge. Have you ever had that when your brain is saying one thing, but your mouth is saying something else?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, it was screaming.
Album. Every time I say the word album, my brain's like, you put an L after that, baby.
Album. Geeseby, please tell us the name of episode 5 of Pokemon Concierge in English.
A Pokemon to help me.
Or in Japanese, Pokemon no Temo Karitai. Guys, we're back on the island of Pokemon Concierge, and boy, is the music great, boy, is the animation great. Look at all these Pokemon. Look how cute they are. And it's a big day at the island today because we got Shinx and Luxray coming for some fun, you guys.
It was, did you rewatch episodes 1 through 4 before this?
No.
I didn't either, because I was kind of expecting this to be a new mini-series instead of oh no, it's episode 5 now.
Yeah, it's not like season 2. It's like the next episodes of season 1, but we took 3 years to do it.
Very good quality. I can't remember how high quality the animation was in the first one. I remember loving it, but I don't know if this is a step up or equal.
It's the same. You know what's interesting? Clearly the English, because I watched them back to back, the last time I watched episodes 1 through 4, there was a pretty big break between me watching them in English and Japanese. This time I watched them one right after the other. And it's interesting because they are different scripts. Like, they did localize differently. So when you watch it in Japanese, it's not just giving you the English script at the bottom. It's just somebody translated the Japanese and wrote it up on the screen, which is very funny because the translation for a lot of the moments in the Japanese are characters just saying, "Oh my God." Made me laugh a lot because that wouldn't really fit in the English. And big spoilers. Do you guys remember? It's the episode where there's a power outage.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Spoil.
Haru is on the phone with somebody, and this is Japanese exclusive information. So you two both watched it in English only, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what's going on.
Exactly. So this isn't a line that was in English. But you just see Haru's face, and you hear some screaming and commotion on the other end. In Japanese, it says, "Gengar, stop it, please." And it doesn't say anything in English. So, Japanese exclusive lore, Gengar's causing some trouble in the lobby at some point, which doesn't happen. But anyway, here's the thing, guys. We're on the island, episode 5. Haru's by herself. So, she's got to take Shinx and Luxray around because we got everybody out of town for one reason or another. What's her name? Amelia? We got Tyler, he's gone. Alyssa, she has a wedding, I guess. Watanabe-san, her boss, I guess, is on vacation on another island in a hotel, Geese Peep.
I need to pause this.
Okay.
We see Tyler leaving, and we need to talk about the expertly crafted miniature backpack they made for the show for Tyler.
I was shocked at the detail.
They literally recreated a, big, camping style backpack. First of all, you can see the seams, you can see like the buckles, the material is all correct, but it's also Caterpie themed, so it looks like a giant Caterpie.
Oh my God.
I appreciate almost everything in this show. The only thing I don't like is there's a couple characters where their action figure bodies, they make the neck way too long and it freaks me out. Like her ex-boyfriend, Trent, what's his name? Trent?
Yeah.
Trent?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
We'll get
to Tent. His neck is way too long, and I don't like that I can see his jaw connecting to his neck because it's literally just a plastic piece they put on top of the thing.
Like
that's the only thing that bothers me.
Coraline vibe to some of them.
Yeah, but no, Coraline looks way better. It just looks like he looks like an action figure, where the rest of them, like he looks like Robot Chicken, where the rest of them look not real, but as the suspension of disbelief. Geese Pete, please continue.
Please, anyone.
Please.
Please, everyone pause and look at the backpack, because you can literally see the sewing. They even took the time to make zippers of the different color, like wild.
This took 3 years. Just a year of that was the backpack.
To make make the backpack.
The cool thing about this show is that it feels so distinctly in our world, in a real world, as opposed to most of the times I'm watching Pokemon, I'm like, okay, this is a fantasy world. Like, this isn't even close to ours. It's completely different. This one, I'm like, oh, that's a resort. Like, they're at a resort in a real world.
Nobody has funky colored hair like in the show.
That's a very good point.
This is a great medium for Pokemon. The fuzzy art and the toy and handcrafted, it just really, really pops out the essence. Like, from the sprites and the Sugimori artwork, everything is so perfectly fit for this art style. So it was a great decision, honestly.
I hope they make this easier to replicate, because I feel like this would do so much for toy sales.
I'm excited about there's a Pokemon series being made by the Shanxi people, the Wallace and Gromit guys. So that's going to be good.
Sick.
Okay. I don't know if you guys noticed at the post-credit scene at the end of the very last episode, you can see the Horsey watering can that they did sell as merch.
Yeah, at Pokemon Center.
It's so darn smart.
Watanabe-san, she's at a big resort thing, but there's a big storm, so she can't come back. She's supposed to come back, so poor Haru's going to be all alone by herself, but that's okay, because Shinx is adorable. He's playing with Psyduck's hair. Everybody's having a good time. Dragonite. Dragonite's never been cuter in any media. He looks great in this show. And Haru's going to try and do some work this episode, and she's cooking and cleaning, and honestly, the Pokemon are causing a little bit of trouble. They're getting into some hijinks, and that's the last thing Haru needs, honestly, guys, right now.
I blame Watanabe-san because what on earth is she doing leaving this place up to one person? You need to have wiggle room installed in your schedule.
It's not one person. She was supposed to be back, and Tyler's leaving right here.
She's just in charge. She's the only concierge.
Yeah, we got the lady at the front desk. But anyway, here's the issue I have with the Japanese version of this entire series, or at least episodes 5 through 8. And it literally could just be because I'm American. But when I watched this in English, it's a story I can get into, right? When I watched these episodes in Japanese, it was distractingly just Japanese TV. Every other sentence is eh. And I mean, I guess to a Japanese person, that's so everyday and normal that it wouldn't flag in their brain as, oh, this again? Because it's just so normal. That's not just TV. That's literally how Japanese people have conversations every single day at work, in cafes. When something's slightly surprising, they respond with eh. And that just sounds silly to us and like they overdo it. But to them, that's just normal. So I guess that complaint is only from my perspective, and I can't really, make a judgment on that.
It's too realistic is what you're saying.
Maybe. We'll see. It could be just a cultural thing. Okay, so Haru's got a lot of work to do, guys. She's got to tend the garden with a Shiinotic. There's a bunch of Diglett ruining the garden. Oh my god, she's so overwhelmed. We got Dragonite and Pidgeot causing wind everywhere. Jeez Louise. And then
I really do wish that there had just been maybe I am just going to go rewatch all of this and see how it flows as a show, because it seemed like episode 4 ended on such a season-ending note.
If you do rewatch it in Japanese, because the Japanese performances on a lot of them are really good. Okay, we're done with the garden. Now let's move on to giving everybody some haircuts and clipping some nails. Geese Peep, so adorable, so cute. And I love how cute Corfish is, even though he's not fuzzy like the rest of them. He is just an action figure. God, they're all great.
Spoilers? Spoilers? When he does his little massage later, it's one of my favorite parts of this show.
So this is where Haru decides to be a genius. She says, I may be all by my lonesome, but if I can just get all these Pokemon to help out too, we're going to have this place running like clockwork. It's going to be great. Pokemon, let's get to work. Let's put on nice music, summer breezy vibes. Taylor, yes?
Very distinct difference from the show. In the animated series, in Horizons, etc., everything is immediately, there's a door that needs closing. Arcanine, go close the door. Tentacruel, help me get my Like, they really rely on Pokemon. Whereas this seems like a human-run world where there are just Pokemon around that can help occasionally.
Well, for Concierge, anyway, oh god, this series brings up spoilers. This series brings up so many real world scenarios that we never really hear about in anime. Like Uncle Dan saying, "I don't have the space for him. I live in a small apartment." Like just real stuff.
Oh, I loved that. I loved that. That was so interesting. But we'll get to that later.
We're jumping ahead yet. Okay, the moral of episode 5, the one we're on and discussing, is that hard work pays off. If you make other people happy, you can be happy yourself. Oh no, there's been a power outage. Okay, my god, you guys. The first episode, we've already got a power outage, and it's up to Haru to save the world?
Yeah.
My god, I better go...
They never actually solved the problem, which is fun.
It's up to... Spoilers. It's up to Haru to flip the switch. She flipped the switch. It's no use, guys. Okay. Next plan of attack.
I was getting real Jurassic Park vibes in this episode.
Oh, yeah, big time. Okay, so we got a windmill. There's no wind. I got it. I'll call my friends Dragonite and Pidgeot. They'll use their big giant wings, start the windmill. That'll fix the problem for sure. Well,
not a bad solution.
Nah, it didn't work. They're too tired. Okay, perfect.
Darn it.
Here's my boys, Shinx and Luxray. They're going to show up. Guys, please, for the love of goodness. Why don't you give the little generator here a big giant shock? That'll fix everything for sure. We're going to try it. Didn't work. Great. Well, I failed. I'm very sad. Let's go back. This is another one of the times when in English, it was just kind of like silly walking back like, oh, man. But in Japanese, I felt so bad for Haru. She was doing a pretty good job. She was thinking like, I'm letting everybody, I'm going to get fired. I ruined everything. All these Pokemon are working so hard and I can't do anything.
Yeah, what am I doing? Who am I?
Who am I? Oh my god. Is that the resort with a bunch of lights on? How could this be? The moral of the episode, Pokemon can help too and make other people happy? You kidding me? Shiinotic glowing of light along with Lampent and Dedenne? All the stars are here, Geese Peep?
Dedenne is the star of this show to me.
So cute.
Everybody that can illuminate is illuminating and helping everybody out. And then my favorite line in English comes up, and Haru says, Pokemon are awesome. And yeah, you're right, Haru. Pokemon are sick. Well, it's been a big, hectic day, so why don't I fall asleep on this giant Snorlax right outside? I won't even go to bed. Cut to next morning, and Alyssa shows up. That's her name, right? Alyssa and Tyler show up, and Watanabe-san show up, and they all say, why are you sleeping outside? Why is she sleeping outside, Geese Peep? Why didn't she go to her bed?
She's trying to make it look like she did even more work than she did.
Wow. Well, anyway, she did great. Everybody had a great time. Everything turned out all right in the end. And the wonderful news is everybody brought back Haru some chocolates. Now then, in English, it's just like, oh, okay, chocolates. This makes way more sense in Japanese. In Japanese culture, when you go on vacation, it's an expectation that when you come back, you need to bring all your coworkers what's something called omiyage, which is a very specific souvenir gift that you buy and bring back. And she loves chocolates, so she gets omiyage from each person. These episodes are really making me feel like, okay, this is a Japanese show with a lot of Japanese cultural things happening.
I mean, they did localize it very well, though, because they kind of play in the English version. They were like, oh, you did such a good job and you were working so hard that we all brought you a lot of treats.
Yeah, it just is a bigger deal in Japanese culture, the bringing the omiyage. And that concludes episode 5. We're on to episode 6. Can you please tell us the name of episode 6 in English? Geese Beep.
Is that really the best option?
Or in Japanese, 一番の幸せって. Episode 6, oh my god, we got a new Pokemon on the island. His name is Celio. Celio having a great time. And you know who Celio belongs to, Taylor?
Uncle Dan.
That's right, the uncle of Travis, the uncle of Tyler. Uncle Dan's coming in with this Celio. Oh my god. Very important note about this episode. It starts with a conversation between Alyssa and Watanabe-san, and they're discussing about a ship that was missing an employee. And also, very important to note, we're also very shorthanded at the Pokemon Resort, which even crazier that Haru was by herself, but it's an important piece of information to remember.
Maybe it's the off season. Like maybe this is all happening before big tourist season.
Maybe. And this is the episode, guys, that I really recommend watching in Japanese, because in Japanese, it actually made me cry. And in English, I was just like, okay, whatever. Or did you cry in Japanese?
Yeah, I usually only cry in English.
Okay. The moral of today's episode, episode 6, is your pets are more important than your family. Okay. And then, I was just, you could see it there.
Yeah.
Always have been.
And I've said it already a lot of times. And again, no disrespect to the actor they hired in English. It's not his fault he was cast. I'm blaming the casting director for hiring, you nailed it, Taylor, a 19-year-old to voice a 71-year-old. Unlike Japanese, which hired an old man to perform this old man, of course, Uncle Tetsu, Uncle Dan.
Uncle Tetsu.
Yeah, and it's just, God. Oh, it took me out of it so much, going from how good his performance was in Japanese.
Yeah.
And then in English, he's just generic anime voice. And it's a rough one.
Well,
it's like I said before, it's Taylor doing his, I'm doing my old man voice. I could do that. Come on, please. Oh, Celio.
Bring back old voice actors.
Yeah, I'm saying. Oh, Celio, look at you. You can let him sit in a chair. Look at how much fun Celio's having. Well, actually, he's causing a little bit of trouble. But the fact of the matter is, Geese Peep, this poor Celio, he used to be a baby Sfeel. As a matter of fact, we see Uncle Dan on his phone later. He's showing off pictures of baby Sfeel when he was out fishing on a boat. And Sfeel kept coming onto his boat. And Uncle Dan kept saying, Sfeel, why don't you go back in the sea?
This episode brings up so many questions for me about how this show relates to the wider Pokemon world. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but no one has Rotom phones. Uncle Dan has a rectangular phone with an old man like OtterBox case, like a rugged case.
So good.
That's clear and has one of the photos of Sfeel. But everyone has the new phones, which are all ovals. It's very interesting.
Like the shell phone from It Follows.
My favorite, this is crazy detail they did. My favorite thing about Uncle Dan's phone, I don't know how they did it, but they made it reflect perfectly. It looks like a real cell phone in the sunlight. They did a perfect reflection off of his phone as he's showing these old photographs of baby Sfeel before he evolved into Celio. Wonderful.
Well, you can do that with stop motion because your light source is your light source.
Very true, Taylor. Very true.
It also implies, because he got this was 15 years ago, so it implies that cell phone cameras were high enough quality in taking photos in portrait mode 15 years ago.
Geese Peep's very interested in the lore and the history of the Pokemon universe that's been established in Pokemon Concierge, because it clearly doesn't line up with the other universes. But anyway.
Well, that's my favorite part of it for sure. It just seems so realistic. I wish more. I don't know if I like this more or less than the mainline series.
It is much better made.
I love the photo gallery of the photos he took of Spiel. Specifically the photo of Spiel moving and it's blurry. I bet the animators had such a fun time doing a little photo shoot. Ugh.
Spiel is one of the cutest babies of all time. He's one of the most adorable little sweethearts in the world, and he should never evolve.
I just want a diorama of Concierge
I
Island.
diarrhea.
Yeah, oh, you know that's gonna, God. They're gonna sell that for so many thousands of dollars. It'd be so good. Anyway, here's the big problem of the episode, guys. Here's what we learn. Spiel evolved into a Celio, right? Okay. Celio's pretty big. Celio's having the time of his life on this Pokemon Island. He's playing with all the pokes. He's jumping around. He's running around. He's playing in the water because he lives with Uncle Dan in a tiny... I'm going to cry again. He lives in a tiny baby little apartment because his ungrateful kids forced Uncle Dan to live close to him in the big city. And poor Celio all day has to just sit in his Pokeball because he's too big to be in the tiny apartment. He maybe once a week gets to go to the park for a little bit.
It's
so
heartbreaking.
Sad. Just like poor Geese Peep, all this Celio wants is to be by the beach, and instead he's trapped in a little room.
I was just about to say that.
Yep. But he's so happy here on this island. And we get such a sick montage of Celio having so much fun with everybody. And he's never been this happy before, Geese Peep. And then we get a little scene which, oh man, was this strong in Japanese. I'm glad you got something out of it in English, Geese Peep, but in Japanese, when this old man, your sister would have been losing it. When this old man breaks down, when this old man breaks, because he's the perfect old man, like stoic, stern old man, like strong. When he breaks down and starts crying because of how happy his Celio is in Japanese, oh my God.
So selfless.
Can we talk, though, about how immediately after that scene, there was a really weird cut?
When it cuts to the next day, you mean?
Yeah.
I think that was supposed to be really abrupt because of how suddenly it was weird, but it also fit the kind of surreal nature of what was going on in the next scene.
It worked for me. Pokemon Concierge very much respects its viewers' time. All these episodes are like 15 minutes, so it's okay to have a quick cut every once in a while, I think. We have a quick cut, like Geese Peep said, and we're at the next day, early in the morning. Tyler is calling very sleepy Haru on her sick Great Ball phone. God, what a cool phone she has. And guys, it's maybe 5 in the morning, but there's a problem. Dan is missing. He's abandoned his boy. Poor Celio is without a trainer. We can't find Dan anywhere. And my first thought is, well, I get it. I mean, we just saw the last scene. I don't know why everybody else doesn't immediately jump to the correct conclusion like Genius Me, I guess, or Elevated Genius Taylor. Clearly, he's abandoning his boy because of how happy he is on this island. Makes sense to me.
They got to spell it out for the kids.
And
whatever could it be?
It's true. He's on a boat leaving as we speak.
The thing is, it makes so much sense for that character. Like, the character of Uncle Dan would just leave.
Yes.
Not deal with emotions or hard talks. Yeah.
Exactly. Celio's so sad. He runs off with Haru to the boat because Haru figures it out. So this is the theme. The Japanese works a lot better with the Uncle Dan character. Uncle Dan in Japanese is so ashamed of himself when he sees Haru's face and Celio. He can't handle it. And Haru's just yelling after him. And Celio jumps in the sea to chase after the boat. Oh my God.
It's
like
emotional.
He did when he was a Spiel.
It's emotional.
I was crying.
And poor Celio's thinking, where are you going? And lucky, great, wonderful news, everybody. There seems to be an issue with the boat. We have to turn back around. So we're going back for a safety check.
I'm so glad you addressed this. Because why? Like, what was it? Was it somebody that knew that something was happening on the boat? No, and they were like, oh, no, guys, turn around.
It's a coincidence. There was an issue with the boat. They have to recheck something.
Lucky them.
Dan gets off. Is he off the boat? He must be off the boat at this point. And
everybody was off the boat.
Yeah. He explains himself to everybody. Watanabe, Geese Peep, in
rips
Japanese,
into him.
Furious at Dan.
How was it in Japanese?
Oh my God. When she explains the definition of the word abandoned after he said he didn't abandon his boy. Oh my God. You kidding me?
That's rough. That's rough, Uncle Dan.
And then they have a conversation about micro pigs and dogs. Well, no, basically they're saying a Pokemon can evolve at any time. You shouldn't have become a trainer if you weren't prepared for your Pokemon to evolve. So I'm sorry.
That's such a weird path of logic to use with an old person. Like, what on earth? Like, what you're going to teach him a lesson?
You can learn. An old dog can learn new tricks. And the saddest part about this little interaction, Geese Peep, is how disillusioned, I'm using the word disillusioned too much lately, but how disillusioned Tyler is because he's always looked up to Uncle Dan so much. And now he's just so disappointed that Uncle Dan would abandon Celio.
I was surprised at how quickly that happened. Like, I spent my whole life thinking you were the greatest. Now, I don't think you're that great.
Yeah, and they have a little heart-to-heart talk on a piece of wood, and I feel so bad for English watchers because I just don't feel like the actor is taking it as seriously as he should be. He's just doing like preschool kindergarten performance, and in Japanese, it was just heart-wrenching. How you could just feel in Uncle Dan's voice in Japanese how ashamed he was of himself.
I think that a lot of people just see Pokemon and they're like, oh, this is for children. Okay. We don't want to give the 4-year-olds emotional distress at this guy getting older.
Yeah, but Concierge for everybody. Okay, now we're going to cut to Tyler and Dan, and they're talking to Watanabe, and they're begging her to let Celio live here because he's going to be much happier. And Watanabe, after much persuasion and asking what Haru thinks, agrees under one condition. Geese Peep, what is that one condition?
Uncle Dan has to be an indentured servant.
That's right, Geese Peep. He's got to stay here and work and live on the island so that way Celio can be happy. And of course, Uncle Dan is thinking, but what about my family? And now we reach the moral. Your pets are more important than your family. But it does get, spoilers, it does come up later that he mentions, oh, my family's going to visit soon, so it'll be all right. Okay, so we're fine.
That'd be so sick to just be like, yeah, I can drop everything and live on an island.
Yeah, might as well.
Oh, so sick.
At this point, everybody's crying. Everybody's so emotional. Oh, my God. I can't believe we did it. And even Uncle Dan's like, there's no way you'd let me work for you after I've been so terrible. And they all say, nah, it'll be good.
Yeah, it's even fine.
If anything, we got to do it for Celia.
Yep. Think of the kids.
Do it for her.
Yep. Do it for her. Lisa needs braces. And that ends the episode. Again, for the 500th time, to me, it was a little silly in English and very emotional in Japanese. Geese Peep, can you please tell us the name of the next episode, episode 7 in English?
I'm a role model now?
Or in Japanese, senpai ni narimashita? Guys, it's Dan's first day on the job, and Haru's going to teach him the ropes. The ropes! Teach him the ropes. Oh my God, look how quickly he picks everything up. He's so good at scootering. It's just like driving a boat, like filling a balloon with too much air to it.
Geese, did I tell you I drove a boat?
Oh my God.
Really? They took a video of me doing it. I was driving all over the place, and Uncle San was like, has he ever driven a boat before? And Guncan was like, no. And he was like, oh, he's doing a great job. I was like spinning the wheel to go with the waves. It was sick.
Just like Uncle Dan. Now, here's the thing about Uncle Dan. He knows a lot about Pokemon. He's lived a while. So he knows when they're walking around doing all their chores for the day, learning how to be a concierge, he can feel the water next to some Magikarp and immediately say, Haru, num. This water way too cold for Magikarp. I'm gonna have my boy Celio. Nobody has to do anything. Celio, he whistles to him. He says, take these Magikarp downstream to the warmer water, please. And everybody's very impressed. Good work. Now here's the problem, Geese Peep. Haru, she's a little bit of a Liko. She's a little bit unsure of herself. Ooh woo. That for audio listeners, Geese Peep is doing an ooh woo, touching the two fingers emoji with her hands. She doesn't think she's up to the task of training Haru. She's gonna end up asking Tyler to help, but
in the first episode, she was even externally monologuing to the Pokemon walking.
Yeah,
it's very that is one thing that this show does a little bit too much, where the characters are just really announcing things. For the kids, though.
For the children. Tyler cracks me up with his response, which is no. When I was a kid, Uncle Dan was very scary when I got in trouble, so I am not going to be the person to train him. But don't worry, he's not going to get mad at you. You're fine. You're good. Have fun. By the way, we have got to shout out Uncle Dan's incredible Hawaiian button-up with the Alolan Executors. Wonderful shirt.
Beautiful.
And then we get something that
I just want the darn diorama. I want the diorama. I want it to have a little gift shop with a bunch of those shirts on a miniature little clothes display rack.
But we think you're going to say diarrhea every time. So can we pick a different...
Wait, it's a diorama.
God.
What else could it be?
Diorama.
A miniature set. I'd like the Pokemon... That doesn't work.
Okay, look. We get something that I do not think plays in English. They did this in the first 4 episodes, I remember. And there's a lot of Japanese things that we've grown accustomed to at this point, like the little sweat drop, meaning nervous or whatever.
And matcha.
Sure. But they do this thing, it happens twice in this episode, where it goes black and white, and there's like a string, electric thing through it. And I guess to all Japanese people, that just means, oh, they're clearly embarrassed or sort of having an awkward situation. And for whatever reason, I mean, maybe some people, Americans, get this, but every time I see it, I think, what? I don't really understand how that means that. But okay, I don't really get it. But it is a Japanese trope, so Japanese show, what do you? All right, everybody, now it's time to work on the vegetable garden. Geese Peep, Panseer, lights a fire at the vegetable garden. And what's Haru going to do about this?
She's got to grab the water monkey and squeeze him so it puts the fire out.
Thank you, Geese Peep, for not saying his terrible name, which is Pan Pour, because you agree with me, his name should be Pan Soak. Because if his name was Pan Soak, his naming convention would fit with the other monkeys. It would be Panseer, Pansage, Pansoak. It would be perfect. I should have named that monkey.
Why is it Pan?
Because they're chimpanzees.
Ah, okay.
And they evolve into Simi-Pour, Simi-Soak. Should be Simi-Soak. Simi-Sage, Simi-Seer. Yeah, we can't be having bonfires right now, Geese Peep, because there's a lot of wind around. So can we not have a giant fire? Poor Haru's already so nervous, training for the first time. Now she's setting off fires. Oh my God, Haru's Uncle Dan's gonna think so little of her is what Haru's afraid of. Well, okay, well they're gonna keep training all around the place. Psyduck gets a big old headache, and oh my God, we gotta run Psyduck over somewhere to break some wood, because if he's not around something that he can break with his psychic power, there's going to be a bunch of trouble. Oh my God, not the berries, Psyduck, stop it. Oh my God. I personally, guys, honestly, I think Haru's doing a great job. Even though she doesn't believe in herself, I think she's doing fine.
Yeah. I was like, she's being so annoying. She's doing fine.
I don't understand either, because she successfully ran the whole park by herself in episode 1, and everybody praised her and gave her chocolates. What happened? I thought it was going to be more of a jealousy thing. I thought she was going to be like, oh God, this guy's way too good at his job. He's going to outshine me. But instead it was like, I'm not qualified to teach this guy.
Well, she has a little heart-to-heart with Psyduck and says, I'm just not good enough. I'm going to talk to Watanabe. I'm going to talk to Watanabe-san. And I'm going to say, you got to swap me out, coach, because I can't do it. We cut to Watanabe-san. She's talking with Uncle Dan and I think Melissa or Maria. What is her name? I always forget.
Alyssa.
Also,
shouts out to the beautiful tea set in this scene. Did you guys look at it?
It wasn't even a Sinisty.
Ooh.
Beautiful de style, like Mondrian style tea set. Beautiful.
What was that word that you used there?
She said distil mouth,
And what was that for non-French?
De style?
Huh?
Ne?
It's Dutch, and I'm not saying it correctly.
Okay, well tell me. Oh, how about you give me that word in English?
Japanese.
I don't actually. What does it mean?
Isn't it just a name?
Anyway, it just means the style in Dutch.
Okay. Well, anyway, Watanabe says
a little je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, if you will. Watanabe says, "No, you're too good. You're a role model, if anything, or Japanese senpai."
He's really impressed by how intuitive and caring she is of Pokemon.
She's real great at that. As a matter of fact, if I was an Arcanine with dry paws, I bet she would be able to notice that right away. Spoilers. Okay, then we cut to a scene where Dan's just having the time of his life, taking so many pictures on the beach with Celio and all the guys. And oh my God, look to Denny. Oh, it's so cute. I can't wait to send these pictures to my family. But what does Haru reveal? Because this exact situation happened to her when she first got to the island.
No reception.
Yeah.
Also, he says that Snorlax is really rare. Is that true?
Sure. I mean, in the original games, there's only one of them.
Huh? There you go.
Just think logically, how could it not be rare? They're so big. They'd be taking over the world if they were common. Okay.
So many apartments.
Exactly. But this is where we do get the line that makes everybody feel better when Uncle Dan says, well, that's okay. I mean, I'd love to send the pictures to my family, but they're going to come visit anyway.
Do you think they're going to come to visit and they'll be like, you need to move back?
I don't know. We're going to have to see season 3.
I wasn't getting that vibe. I was really interested in, because this is a dynamic you never hear about in Pokemon. He just kept saying, my son and his wife are going to be visiting anytime. And I was like, okay, Pokemon Concierge, establishing family dynamics. Interesting.
Oh my God, there's no time for that, Taylor. There's 2 Metagross fighting, and they're so powerful. Oh my God.
Question from the audience. Explain their presence on this beach.
They're here. They're having vacation on Pokemon Island.
Who were their trainers?
Maybe they came over. I don't know. Some people. People drop off their guys to have a little vacation. It's no big deal. And they were just playing. They were just roughhousing a little bit, but it got a little too, they said they started really fighting. And here's the problem with Metagross. Those are pseudo-legendaries. They're very strong Pokemon, and they're going to cause a lot of damage if they keep fighting. So Celio, I guess you could try to stop them. And eventually, Uncle Dan has to show off what nephew Tyler has been afraid of this whole time, which is if he needs to, he can pull out a temper. And he scares those Metagross into place. He screams.
Okay, so in English, this was a bit of a letdown because he was just kind of loud, but it wasn't the type of loud. It was the 19-year-old being loud as an old Japanese man. Or
it
as
was
an
so
old
good.
man.
Yeah, it was
good.
And it was so good in Japanese.
Yeah, I wish they had done something different.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Sorry, casting director.
It would have been, I thought for sure, since his eyes are closed pretty much the entire time, if he just opened his eyes and glared at them, and that was
That's
like
exactly
his thing.
What happened. That happens.
I thought
in
he
the
just
scene.
shouted.
And he opened his eyes real big, just exactly how you described
no.
it.
Sorry. I just meant, that's all he did.
We did solve the problem of the Metagrosses fighting. They calm down. They're scared. But we have an unfortunate side effect. The little baby pokes.
They're all scared of Dan.
Gosh darn it, man. If only Haru were smart enough to come up with the perfect plan to earn back the trust of the baby Pokemon. I've got it. Let's all play ball in the house. Let's all go outside and play ball, guys.
No. Okay.
We're going to show that he's just a friendly man who likes to play ball with Celio. Guys.
Too scary, too loud.
No. Eevee loves playing ball. And that's the end of the episode. Geese Peep, it is now time for the final episode. Can you please tell us the name of it in English?
Where I Belong.
Or in Japanese. And are you guys proud of me? Because look at all this kanji, and I don't even have a kana guide. I'm just going off of memorizing it. 今、私はここにいます. Oh my God, it's a big giant storm. Oh, everybody, get the Pokemon inside. Oh my God, the river's overflowing. What are we going to do, guys? Get that Bellsprout. Oh my Lord. Great rain jackets, by the way, on Haru and Tyler. I love these rain jackets, Geese Peep. So.
Great audio design as well.
Oh, yeah, so good. Geese Peep, there's a baby Eevee. It's across the broken bridge that broke from the big flooding. What are we going to do? Eevee, stay right there. I'm going to grab you.
That Eevee's been so cute the entire time, especially getting his little pampering treatment haircut earlier. But this Eevee on this bridge is so cute.
Haru, save Bulbasaur. I don't know why Bulbasaur didn't just vine whip the Eevee over.
Yeah.
But anyway, Haru, grab him. Bulbasaur, help me. Oh my God, I've got the Eevee. Jump in my arms. I'm going to fall. And who saves the day, Geese Peep?
Arcanine.
That's right. And honestly, this Arcanine seems a little familiar. Kind of reminds me of ex-boyfriend Kent's Arcanine, says Haru. Turns out, it's exactly what it is. Spoiler.
Did you two think that Grandma was going to come in to the episode as a little...
Grandma Diana?
Yeah.
Just riding on Huindi? Yeah, that'd be real good. Kent, you're here? And
Roy?
they do...
Kent?
They do such a good transition here. The music is wonderful. They do this hard cut, change the color. Oh my God, so good.
Like the little romance.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So we saved the day. We're back in the lobby. And here we go again. I spoiled this before. Kent in Japanese sounds great. Kent in English, the man's 12 years old. Can't take him seriously at all. He's a child. And he's talking about, I just got promoted and I haven't seen you in years and we used to be young. No, you're a boy. You're a child. I'm so sorry. This actor was born in the 21st century. I'm sorry. That is true, by the way. So, poor Haru's in her little, jambos and a little sweatshirt she got because she was completely soaked from the rain. And she has a little conversation about life, Geese Peep, with Kent. About what's been going on in the past and in current days. And she's feeling Arcanine's paws. This is important to note for something that happens later, which I brought up earlier. Spoilers. I think those paws may be...
I just looked up his voice actor. He's in Cobra Kai.
Yes, he is.
Interesting.
It's so funny because we see them interact and then we cut back to all of her colleagues and Alyssa's like, yeah, they definitely dated. That is right.
That's good.
That's a way of doing audience exposition in that's so good.
Well,
it's so much better than shows normally do.
We did already know this because this is our real episode 1. You've called episode 5 episode 1 a couple times, but real episode 1, not fake episode 1, started with Haru's moving here because she just broke up with her boyfriend and she is okay. So then we cut to Haru and Psyduck in their room, and this is what I mentioned earlier. Haru showing Psyduck old pictures of her and Kent on vacation, and it just doesn't make sense when she was like, we were so much younger back then. No.
It was... What was the line in English that got through the editing room floor? You wore high heels and even higher responses to stress
situations.
Yeah. I was high heels and high stress situations.
It was a line.
Surprisingly, it was the same in Japanese. Okay, Geese Peep, is Psyduck a little bit jealous of Haru giving attention to Kent? He did not look interested in these pictures.
Okay, so how long has Psyduck known Haru? Just since she's been on the island?
Yeah. That's where they met, yeah.
So Psyduck probably is being, they said, a little jealous. I think that Psyduck is being protective of Haru because he knows that she was in a bad place when she first got there because of her breakup.
Could be. We cut to the next day, and there's, oh my God, this show is so good. Just the incidental little shot of Whooper walking and water drips on his head from the big storm from before on the tree. So good. So good. This is what I think Geese Peep was talking about. All the other employees just keep snooping on Haru and Kent, and Watanabe walks up and says, you guys observing some rare Pokemon over here? And they go, oh, yeah. And then scatter. And then she also snoops a little bit, which is amusing. Geese Peep. Haru and Kent are having fun on the beach.
This was clear. I thought that was a dream sequence when they were running around on the beach. I was like, there's no way.
I thought that twice. Because they're using dream sequence like coloring, and no, that's just what they use when those two are together.
It's supposed to be like Baywatch.
Yeah.
It like they just immediately go from we're kind of we're kind of reconnecting a little bit to instant best day on the beach ever.
Yeah. Celia wants to join in the fun. Hops on Haru. Geese Peep, Celia's too big to be doing that. So stop it.
Celia's gonna break her ribs.
Yeah, too heavy. All right, let's cut to lunch. She's cutting up carrots, I believe, but she trips onto Dedenne and then drops the carrots everywhere. But luckily, Pansear catches them all. Don't worry. And then they do a bunch of other chores, and they have a heart-to-heart. And out of nowhere, Geese Peep, Kent just starts saying, hey, Haru, so I probably should have noticed when we broke up how unhappy you were and how you needed to escape life and everything. And Haru says, and immediately is just interrupted by Maria, what's her name?
Alyssa
saying, hey, I need help with berries. And she was like, Haru says, oh, yeah, Ken, I got to help with these berries. But yeah, about that, huh? And
this episode was honestly really weird. I was really confused with the tone they were trying to go for.
It was a very strange episode.
And I will respond to both of you with my next written sentence, which is, this scene makes way more sense in Japanese. It really works, and it just doesn't work in English, because in English, it's not clear what's happening and nothing's really making sense. But the Japanese performance makes it so clear as Watanabe comes up to speak alone with Kent. Geese Peep, do you want to talk about that scene at all?
Oh, I just found it funny because it reminded me of like, oh yeah, she's special and awkward, but she's really good at being a concierge.
No, in Japanese, it makes way more sense. She was like, hey.
No way.
She was saying, hey, don't mess with her.
Just don't.
She's doing great here.
And that was the vibe, like trying not to like encourage him to like try to rekindle things and bring her back or whatever.
So in English, almost nothing is done from the performance of Kent. In Japanese, it's so clear the shame, guilt, and embarrassment that Kent is feeling for, I guess, how he behaved to her in the past.
I'm telling you, in English or in Western countries, they just don't understand that Pokemon is viewed by anybody over the age of 8.
Yeah. So great scene to watch in Japanese. I recommend it. All right, now we're going to cut to Haru and Kent up on top of the lighthouse that we saw in episode 5. And
I wonder
honestly,
what their breakup was about. Did they go into that? Because they're being so friendly. I was wondering if they went into detail, like the cause of it. It was amicable.
I don't recall. If they give the reason for the breakup, please send in to looklistencast@gmail.com. Why'd they break up? Subject line, why'd they break up? Answer, please.
That would have been a great thing to say. Oh, that's his ex for sure. This is why they broke up.
Yeah. So, but they talk more about their relationship up on top of this lighthouse, and it sounds like we could go a couple different ways with these two. But there's no time for that, Geese Peep. How about let's play on the slide. Let's all slide down. Now, if I were anybody...
real quick, I thought it was so fascinating, and this was such a rare scene where you have these two that are connecting, and Haru's doing great and everything. And she's talking about, I can't remember when exactly in the episode it happens, because everything kind of happens quickly and in a weird way. But she's talking about how tired Kent looks. Yeah. And I was thinking that is, one, that's such a Japanese thing. But two, that's such a, like, unusual thing for somebody to notice, and especially to put in a show. I feel like that's a very realistic thing for somebody to say about something else. And I just don't see it in very much media.
That's why he needs this vacation. He's been working so hard. He just needs some time off. He's exhausted.
Just so sick. Everything in this just makes so much sense and feels very realistic.
Yeah, and they're going to bring that up, I think, later in the episode when they make their decisions on what we're all going to do with our lives here. If I were on top of the lighthouse, I would have been the first to say, guys, I don't think Arcanine can fit in the slide. He's a little big. He's kind of enormous. I would not put that dog in that slide if it were me.
It's weird that they don't have a, like, how'd he get in? It's not like a funnel.
To be fair, a lot of his size is obviously that fluffy hair, which could go down. Yeah, the fur, which can go down if you're going down a slide, but still, I think too big. Everybody else makes it down the slide just fine, but no, Arcanine gets stuck halfway through, and we get a whole moral of the story about laughing to quote-unquote let go.
How is that going to help with him going down a slide?
Because he's stuck in there because he's tensed up. So Haru says, I've got a brilliant idea. I'm going to tickle him, and then he's going to laugh, and he's going to quote-unquote let go.
Which, honestly, you could have given me that scenario 100 times. Tickling the Pokemon, not something I would have thought of.
Well, what are you going to do? Maybe it makes sense in Japanese. But yeah, this, of course, comes after after Kent finally laughs at the bottom of the slide, and he's finally, quote-unquote, letting go. And after Kent tries to just pull Arcanine, but his poor dry paws hurt too much. So Haru's going to save the day, and everybody lets go.
Such a moment where she feels relieved because she finally saw him laugh. And I was like, goodness gracious. Between Kent and Uncle Dan, you have these characters who are just beleaguered by life coming to this resort for some relaxation. And you're giving them I was getting life crisis vibes from these two.
Yeah. And nobody has a Pokeball, by the way. Pokeball could have saved so many scenarios.
I like how
he saved so much
at least addressed that, though. That was his thought. He just lost it or something.
Yeah, he just kept saying, God, where's my Pokeball? Where'd I put it? And which is great because you guys both were on the episode, right? Where we watched where Ash came up with the brilliant idea, or at the end said, wait, why don't we just use a Pokeball to save that Wailord?
Or we could have used a Pokeball.
I don't remember how they ended up.
Because they went through the whole big old thing of saving it. And then at the end, they were like, oh, we could have used a Pokeball.
Yeah. All right. Well, then Haru and Kent discuss life a lot. And Haru explains why she moved here in the first place and how happy she is and how turns out actually this is home. This truly is Pokemon home. Only $14.99 a year. Sign up now on mobile or Switch. And I'm sorry, guys. I don't like Kent's neck. Can't stand it.
Yeah.
It's 1,000 feet long and I see his little jawline action figure face. And I've said it before. He thanks Haru for everything. And I guess they start to get close, but does Psyduck do something to say no funny business, Geese Peep?
Yeah.
They're shaking hands or something?
Yeah, he interrupts their handshake.
Yep. And it sounds like at this point in the episode, it's kind of up in the air what everybody's going to do because clearly they did reconnect. So there's a question in the air of, is Haru going to leave with Kent? Are they going to get back together?
Were you two really feeling that?
I think that's what the episode's trying to do.
Yeah, I know that's what they're trying to do.
Because it seemed like he still had feelings for her, but she was just being professional the entire time.
Yeah, that I thought she cared about him, but she was very on to the next phase of her life.
Oh yeah, I missed a line here. After she makes a couple things happen in this episode, but the biggest thing is after Haru makes Kent laugh at the bottom of the slide, he was like, Haru, you're wonderful. And it was like a beat of,
oh, yeah.
So yes, very much, Taylor. That is what the episode's setting up is
okay.
Won't
he gave her his business card.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, I was just about to make that joke.
Well, we've reached the end of the episode, and Haru responds with, well, goodbye, Kent. Come back soon.
I felt so bad for Kent. I felt so bad for Kent.
We'll see it. But no,
I don't remember how
realizes,
the breakup happened.
He realizes this is for the best. He says, yeah, I just came here for vacation. That's all this was. I didn't even know you were going to be here. So I got my vacation. I was been exhausted at work with a big promotion. Yep. Goodbye, Haru. Have fun on the island. I know this is actually what makes you happy, and I'm not going to try and ruin that. And so then Haru pets the little hairs on Psyduck's head, and we get the credits. And it's a great song and wonderful Pokemon Concierge couple episodes. It is now time to discuss.
Big W for Haru.
Yeah. It's now time to discuss a little bit. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think it's very good. I don't think it's as strong as the first 4 episodes, but that could be just because it was so novel and unique, the first 4 episodes. But this is very good.
The first 4 episodes, story-wise, made a lot more sense and flowed a lot more naturally.
Yeah.
These were kind of weird. I wish we had more her and Psyduck stuff going on.
Yeah, they didn't get a lot of time together.
This last episode, really threw me through a loop because the tone was kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. The story wasn't as good.
I thought the tone was fine in Japanese, but it's so hard to score. I don't know what I gave Pokemon Concierge episodes 1 through 4 the score. It's too difficult for me to look up. I don't even know what doc it's in. But clearly, if we're judging it against Pokemon Horizons, it's like a 10. But I don't think we can't judge it against that. We have to judge it, I guess, on Concierge.
Yeah.
Scale?
Yeah.
I mean, but honestly, even if I judge this on a scale of all entertainment, it's still high. It's past the 8s into the 9s, probably.
Wow.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for me because of the Caterpie backpack.
Caterpie Backpack, Geese gives it a 10.
Wow.
10.0. 10.0.
Wow, that's crazy. You're the type of person to leave a 5-star review on Google because the bathrooms were clean.
Wow. This is really good. Emotional, funny, cute.
You should rate, I think we all gave it in the 9s. You should rate the English and the Japanese separately. I'd like to hear that.
I'm going to take back my score and do a 9.8 just because I think the first 4 episodes were better.
Call it season 1. Call it what it is. It's interesting because, like, I don't even know if you could rate it separately, because if it's just episodes 1 through 4 and then 5 through 8, it's not really trying to be distinct from those first episodes. Although they did seem to have much more of an arc than these 4 episodes.
I mean, they put them out 3 years later in a batch, so that's why we're going to rate them that way.
Yeah.
Japanese is probably a 9.5, and for English, probably a 9.2. So I'll give it a 9.4, maybe.
I'm going to lower mine then, because if yours is that low, I'm lower mine to 9.7 or 9.6.
Wow.
9.6.
Just plummeting.
Wait, no.
1/10 of a point at a time.
Scratch it. Keep it at 9.8. This show is amazingly made. Like, story-wise, it's not the strongest this season or whatever you want to call it, but it's amazingly detailed, animated, etc. I'm locking it in. Lock it in.
Everybody should watch Pokemon Concierge, all episodes. That's what I have to say. They're wonderful. They're cute. They're so well made. We have to support good Pokemon entertainment. I have no problem paying Netflix out the wazoo. So much money for a month of Netflix. Taylor, your score, please.
This one's really hard to rate because it's being presented not as Pokemon Concierge Season 2. So I think that they might just be approaching it in a very different way. And it seems like if you look at any other show, this seems like a mid-season grouping of episodes. I don't know why Taylor, they had. Yeah.
Would it be easier for you to give 4 scores for each episode?
No, definitely
no.
Not.
God.
They're so short. They almost run it and I watched them all together, so I was kind of grouping them all together in my head. Like Oldman episode, fantastic.
Oh, God,
I wish I could have seen it in Japanese.
You can. If you go to Netflix.com and type in and use your remote and say Japanese original, please. Say original.
That's too complicated.
Hey,
I'm gonna give it.
Hey, Netflix! Wish you could do that for the Horizons. Let us watch Japanese on Horizon Netflix, not just for Concierge.
Ridiculous. I'm gonna give this an 8.8. I think it's a very, very good, very, very well made show. It's an incredibly well made show. The story just didn't really do a lot for me outside of Oldman. He was the main. Like, they did some unique stuff, but a lot of it just felt kind of fluffy. Solving problems on the island by herself, going through the electrical outage and everything, that kind of fell flat. The episode with the ex, I don't think that they did a particularly good job with the ending of it or the layout of it. Because I wasn't feeling that there was any kind of... I didn't think there was any question about her staying or leaving until the very end. She was like, I've made up my mind. And I was like, what?
Hey, Geese Peep. Taylor gave last week's episode of Horizons a 9.8, just so you're aware. Gave this one an 8.8.
Well, I feel bad because I have the same thoughts as Taylor, but I gave it a 9.8, and I've already locked it in.
Yeah, and it's really good. It deserves a high score.
Yeah, I mean, the voice actor for Hahnemann did a great job, but everybody else, I didn't really like it. The other characters weren't really involved too much. There's that one very funny line from Alyssa saying, oh, that's totally his ex. That's the whole character. That's the character's entire involvement in this season. Miss Sama, Watanabe Sama, didn't really do a whole lot here. There just wasn't a lot of movement in
mainly
in
just Dan,
the plot.
Uncle Dan season.
Yeah. That he's really carrying this as well as the make of the episode. That's what's really bolstering this score is how well this is made. I was looking at some of the scenes during the storm, and I was looking at the water moving, and I was just thinking, my goodness gracious, this is well done.
Water effects are great. It's a great show. I mean, our scores mean nothing. It's a thumbs up out of 2 thumbs up out of 2 thumbs. It is a must watch. Just go watch it. It's great. And now let's move on to the wrap up.
Thank you everyone for listening. You can find us at Look, Listen, Cast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Please like and comment so more people can find our content. Thank you to Keith for our artwork. You
Shouts
can
out
find
to
him
Professor.
First of all, you can find Keith at twitch.tv/KeithSquared.
Shouts out to Professor Ticklebits for the website and the boilerplate. That's twitch.tv/prof_ticklebits. And yes, please, God, just recommend the podcast to somebody. You can just, oh my God, listen to how entertaining it is. Listen to all the fun. Everybody's going to love it. Just leave a little comment. Just send it somebody else's way. Write a question.
My suggestion is to trap someone on a train for 2 hours and just talk about how great this podcast is.
And then you can tell us all about it at looklistencast@gmail.com. All right, everybody. That's another episode. Geese Peep's going to say goodbye. Hope you enjoyed Pokemon Concierge. Oh my God, it was so good. Next week, more Horizons as we get hyped for all the special side series and new seasons, and who knows what's going to happen next week. Ooh, okay. Say goodbye a bunch of times. Okay. Taylor, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Geese Peep's going to say goodbye multiple times, actually.
Goodbye.
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 Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Peep. Thank you for listening to the Geese Peep Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company